Come on in. It's the real Kyper and McKee show. We are live on SportsNet 360, SportsNet 590, The Fan, and streaming always on SportsNet Plus. If you miss our show, can't catch it live, just download it any chance you get. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube are your choices. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandeo. No, Justin Bourne. See, he's smart. He's so dejected over the Leafs weekend.
Yeah.
He said, I'm starting my holidays right now.
So, can you hear me right now?
I can.
Okay. And can our audience hear me? Can somebody, my thing has gone
Yeah,
kaput here.
Sammy, you're good, bud.
Okay.
You're good. Listen.
I can't hear anything in my headphones, so we're going to, it's my big chance on the big desk. I can't hear anything.
I want you to relax, okay? You've
dreamt of this day.
Dreamt of the real Kyper and McKee show.
You're right.
Okay?
I have.
Every day. Outside of the Jays winning a World Series, the Leafs winning a cup.
This is the next big
The
thing.
real Kyper and McKee show.
So we're going to get to some conversation about this weekend, but I have to admit something to you.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Am I going to be like a shrink for the next hour to
Maybe,
you?
potentially. I am feeling pretty down about the Leafs, but I'm also feeling down about this next situation. So,
I'm listening.
this weekend, spent some wonderful time with my family, with my parents,
Yeah.
and with Allie's dad and her sister's home from in Montreal. We had a wonderful weekend. But my mom stayed over on Saturday night, and she brought with her a beautiful tin of cookies and all this stuff. This beautiful handwritten card for you.
And you
for-
left it on the bus.
And for
You left it on
and
the
for
bus with
Borny,
the
but
Columbus jersey.
Borny wasn't going to get any of this because
Yes.
he didn't come in today. He's on his way to New York. He's probably in New York by now. And so I set my alarm. I got a text from my mom this morning. Good morning. Like, make sure you take the cookies and the treats. And I said, no problem. I set my alarm so that it would go off. So I'd be like, oh, I got to bring the cookies. I end up coming in earlier because I had to do a couple things, Christmas-related things, on my way into the office.
Where are my cookies?
And at, about 1:30, my phone, as I'm at like Bay Station, starts going, ba-da-ding, ba-da-ding, ba-da-ding. My beloved mother spent all this time cooking all these cookies for you and Borny, and I forgot them at home, and she's going to absolutely kill me. So, if you're listening, Mom, I'm sorry, but I forgot the cookies.
You're far too young to be losing your marbles this early in your life.
I know. It's bad. It's bad. It's a bad move by me. I'm very embarrassed.
How long would it take you to get home right now if you just left right now? I could carry 15 minutes.
I would probably be back maybe in time for fan pregame. Maybe. Probably not, though. Honestly, so there you go.
That's all right.
There's your story. So I'm going to have to take them up to, I don't know what I'll do them.
Mom McKee,
Yeah.
I apologize for your son.
Thanks.
And listen,
I hope she's not
it's
listening.
just the effort that counts. Knowing somewhere out there there's cookies that you baked for
And the
me
worst part is I'm just going to eat them all.
is enough. No, you're not. You're going to save them. You're going to bring them.
Okay, I'll try.
All right, the Toronto Maple Leafs dropped back-to-back games on the weekend. Nashville 5-3, Dallas last night 5-1, a game that we covered on Sportsnet Ontario. Tomorrow night, we wrap things up before the Christmas break with a 4 p.m. start.
Yeah.
3:30, I think, is pregame.
Are you guys on that one? Is that a... Oh, no.
Myself,
Oh, yeah.
Carolyn Cameron and Elliot Friedman will carry it for Justin Bourne, whose family
in New York.
In New York.
Yeah.
Visiting his family in New York. In the meantime, you want to start with what we saw Saturday night, where we are, big picture. You tell me, Mr. McKee, it's your platform today.
I don't know. I would be lying to you, Kip, if I said I wasn't pretty dejected as a fan of this team. I just, you don't really know. I guess there was a part of me where over the past month or so that I've been guarding against them coming back and saying, oh, it's over. But in the back of my mind, in the back of my heart, thinking that they were actually going to find a way to pull themselves out of this and that they were maybe going to get a little bit hot here and that they were going to maybe find a way to get themselves back into playoff contention. But this weekend for me, and I guess this road trip in general, this little 3-game road trip, kind of flipped my perspective on what this team's going to look like at the end of the year. Like I know I'm not breaking news here. They sit 1 point out of last in the Eastern Conference, but I'm really starting to believe that there is no pull out of this. Like I'm sure there's a ton of Leaf fans listening that feel the exact same way, but this weekend really did flip things for me. Hey, and everybody says that they played great last night. They played better last night. They still lost 5-1, whatever. Yeah. Progress is only progress when you're getting points in the standings, and it really does feel like it's heading in the wrong direction permanently.
Just going into last night too, to your point a little bit here, where they did play better. They actually played much better. Yep. The look was much better. Mm-hmm. We had mentioned that on air, and then we end up, taking a bit of a beating.
Oh, you guys in trouble?
No, we took a beating a little bit on social media with people saying, like, why would you say that they had better looks, and why did you say that they lost like 5-1, and it's like fans don't even want to hear anything remotely close to
breaking down the game. What are you supposed to say?
It's true, and I'm not offended. Trust me, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
But what it does tell me is that the fans don't care that they looked better, they had better chances. Auston touched the puck a lot more. They don't care, right?
I think
it's like win or you're garbage.
I think if that game last night had have come in a normal Leaf season, where they're sitting in the second in the Atlantic Division, and they won the game on Saturday night, and they go in and they have that performance, you and I could come in here on Monday and have a pretty positive conversation about the way a lot of their players looked. But when you put yourself into this situation, the time for moral victories, Kip, is long gone. Like, I mean, progress, process, whatever the hell word, you better start finding process in a hurry here, or you're going to be in the lottery conversation. Anyways, I don't know which clip you want to start with. You want to go back to Nashville?
Yeah, let's go back to Nashville, too, because I touched a little bit on this, and Craig Berube talked about the team mentality, and I touched on it a little bit in our pregame show. So let's start there. Clip 2, Craig Berube on team mentality.
I don't know if it's difficult. I said, that we gave up a 4-on-4 goal with 1:20 to go in the second period. I don't, there's no reason for that.
Do you think that's a product of just where the team is mental?
Yeah, it is. It's mental for sure. We got to get through it. We got to get over that. We got to make better decisions throughout the game.
Okay, let's go to the captain's thoughts on team mentality. Clip 2, Auston Matthews.
Yep. Auston Matthews, clip 2.
I think mentally we're fine. I thought tonight, as as it is losing, like I said, I thought the process was better. I thought we had good energy all night. And even though you're leaving the rink, upset, not coming out with any points in tonight's game. I think just the process that we had throughout is something that we can take and move forward with some of the good things that we did do, and continue to channel that and just be better throughout a full 60 minutes of doing those things.
And that's probably the thing that stood out to me the most, was that, one, the head coach says it's a mental thing, and the other, and your best player says it's not a mental thing. We're fine there. So, can you start addressing whatever issues you think you have if you're not looking?
We do not agree
at this at the same issues.
That, I think, is. What's the word of the year been for the Leafs?
Disconnected.
Correct. And it feels like there is a disconnect from the front office to the head coach to the captain to his players. Like, you listen to those clips. I went through, Nick Robertson was talking about how the team mentality is not great. Waugh was talking about how the team mentality isn't great. And you have OEL. All these guys are addressing how the team mentality is not great. And I'm not sure if Matthews is just saying that because he thinks he's the captain and he needs to put this brave face on to project out that we're okay and that we're fine. But at some point, I think you need to look inward at your team and talk to the media and be a little bit honest with us, with the fans, because I think it's disingenuous, and I think it breaks trust between the captain of your favorite hockey team and the fans if you're going out there and you're saying mentally we're fine. because the fan base isn't fine. The fan base is not mentally fine. I'm telling you, they can't stand this. And I can't remember a team with so much talent that people just don't like Kipper.
If they would have lost more games like they did last night,
Yes.
he'd have a bigger cushion to say mentally we're okay.
100%.
But that's the issue, is that they have not looked like that.
Mhm.
And that's, as we said last night, and I don't know where you sit on what Dallas presented.
The B effort,
I gotta
holiday
think,
effort.
I got to think that if we talk to a number of people that cover the Dallas Stars on a nightly basis, probably said that might have been one of their worst games of the year. I don't know. But I know Rantanen didn't look like Rantanen, superstar. And White Johnson, who has more power play goals than the entire Toronto Maple Leaf team, didn't look great finishing on any power play. So
It's not the best stat I've ever heard.
right? But they at least looked like they gave a much better effort.
Yeah.
They were more engaged.
Sure.
And with a little bit of luck, maybe a cold Ottinger, they might have found a way to squeeze a point or two out of that game.
Yeah, I think that's true. And, you look at those two teams, you measure the desperation meter between those two teams. I mean, the Leafs have their season hanging in the balance here. They're at the bottom of the standings, and they're going in there in the second half of a back-to-back knowing they got to get a win here before Christmas to potentially save the coach's job. And then you look at Dallas, who is the second-best team in the league and is one game away from their Christmas break, just at home on a Sunday night. Just felt like the amount of desperation between the two teams. But, yeah, maybe the Leafs found a way to win that game. Even if they do, Kip, they're still in second last. Like, it's not like it would have changed a ton. We'd feel a little better doing a show today, but they've dug themselves such a huge hole. Ultimately, it's not going to matter even if they do win that game.
Let's get Craig Berube's thoughts on his overview of the game last night in Dallas.
Clip.
Well, you always, I mean, we played well. I mean, I think through two periods, and I really liked our game. Lots of chances and opportunities. It's not going in right now. It eventually, wears on you throughout the game, right? Third period, they got that third goal. It was kind of set us back pretty good in that goal.
So, you're talking about Matthews and the disconnect between the coach and the captain and the team. Like, just the stars in general, or the highest, I guess they are the highest paid people on this team, and the people who are supposed to really carry this team offensively. Like, that trip, if you're looking at a few guys that are maybe not inspired to play for their head coach or inspired to play in general, I mean, I put the stats on your sheet there.
They're ugly.
It's ugly. And look at that Saturday night. Go ahead, read them out if you want, or I can read them.
Yeah. Matthews, Nylander, Nyes, Tavares, Max Domi, who was scratched one game.
Yeah.
All collectively. Well, Tavares had a ricochet.
Yeah.
1 point.
Yeah.
1 goal. His
Yeah.
goal. Everybody else goose eggs. And then they're
Dash
collectively
25 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matthews -7, Nylander -7.
That's Saturday night.
So if you gave me odds of a 3-game stretch like that where they all get goose eggs, like,
How the hell are you going to win?
I mean,
Look at
you're 0 for 3.
Look at Saturday night, and it's the end of the second period. They're up 2-1, and Matthews carries the puck 4-on-4 right into the offensive zone and just turns into the slot with 2 guys on him, turns the puck over, goes down to your end of the net. Just get that puck in deep. It's the end of a period. Live to fight another day. Goals at the end of periods always kill you. Maybe a wall softy. Probably should have had that one. And then you go to this third period. You get Morgan Riley, who's supposed to be another one of your leaders, high-paid guy, gets walked by Evangelista, right?
Yeah.
And then, with however much time left in the third period, where they have the empty net, it's 3-2 for the Predators, and William Nylander just skates the puck up and just turns it right over to a guy that go down, they shoot it in the empty net. Like, that's just a microcosm for what's killed them on this trip and what might kill the season. Like, they just haven't got enough from these guys in the last however long. It's tough.
Yeah, we may look back at this particular stretch as the first sign of, like, this. That's where they lost it.
Yes.
That's where it truly was lost.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, where are you on the Craig Berube situation? Because that's clearly the number one thing that everyone's talking about.
No question in my mind that, and we've seen it everywhere.
Yeah.
Including ESPN's cover, I think, is Berube on the hot seat. So everybody feels it.
Yes.
Everybody knows it, and there's no question behind the scenes they're contemplating a lot of things, including letting him go and or keeping him, and what are the options? And there's so many layers and dynamics to this decision on. And first of all, truly, do you believe that this is a coaching issue, or is this a player issue, a player personnel issue? And more importantly, like, where does that ultimate decision lie? Because there's a CEO in Keith Pelly, there's a general manager in Brad Treliving, and where do the two of them come together on Craig Berube's future?
I mean, I have no idea. And you would know better than me in terms of who's actually going to be the one that makes this decision, and the board and all the different people that have to go together to make a decision like that.
Yeah, I got news for you. There's no more board anymore.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It's
just Pelly.
No, there's just an owner.
Oh.
And he's upstairs.
Oh, he's upstairs. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Say hi to him.
Hi, Ed.
All right, that's the board. That's the board.
Yeah. So.
Right? And outside of that, he's got a CEO in Keith Pelly.
Uh-huh.
Keith has been very vocal earlier in the season, how much he believes in Brad Treliving, believes in Craig Berube. These two are the guys. He's spoken positively over the culture and their knowledge, and they're the ones that, hopefully take them to the promised land, take the city to the promised land.
Yeah.
Keith has gone on record saying it's...
Well, he's a Ryder Cup guy, so it may take them to the golf course, the promised land.
Yeah. He's spoken of their time is now.
Yeah.
He has spoken to go time. And now you got to be in a position where you think, no, that's not the case anymore, or yes, it's the case, and we better do something to kind of rattle this thing back into place. So that's where they're at right now. These are the decisions that they're making right now. Is it a coaching thing, or is it we just need to be patient here and squeeze more out of these players?
So the follow-up I have for you, is it too late to get the bounce that you're looking for? Like, if you like,
how many games left, Sammy? 47?
Yeah.
Okay.
With one of the hardest remaining schedules in the league.
I know. And that's, again, you have to just throw back to Brad Treliving and Keith Pelly now.
Yeah.
47 games to go.
Mm-hmm.
What's realistic? What's not realistic? Out of 47, do we need 30 wins, 32 wins?
Feels like that.
So if we can get hot, we need I think the year that the St. Louis Blues won the Stanley Cup, correct me if I'm wrong, but they sucked up until like the second week in January. They were like a 500 team.
Yeah, then they got stupid hot.
And they got hot, but a lot of things have to go right. Binnington came out of nowhere. It's not like the Leafs have a goaltending issue right now. It's the least of their worries.
Yeah.
So do they sit there and go, there's a lot of games left to go here. We can salvage something. Is it salvageable?
Yes. And I'm not sure it is. And I'm as much, every day I get people in my mentions talking about it's the coach, it's the player. Everybody seems to be completely split on what the big issue is, which you know what that probably means, Kip, is that you have a lot of issues. that
Yeah.
each person is able to pinpoint something different that's wrong with this thing. But, and we talked about it on Friday, but like, I am a little bit willing to have the conversation that this core or this roster, regardless of who's behind the bench, isn't necessarily good enough. Like, I mean, it's been whittled away at, and you lose the final death blow last year potentially of losing Marner to the Vegas Golden Knights, that maybe this group isn't big enough or good enough, and you start to have bigger conversations. But before you have that convo, I feel like you have to try to do something this season. And the natural thing, I guess, is the coaching staff. But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work, and it's a huge swing to make if you're not sure it's going to work.
How big of a swing do you have to make if you go down that path? You have the option of even changing Mark Savard, who's, as we all believe, is a big part of the power play.
For sure. And
there's
I would say,
Lalonde,
though, like,
who they just hired.
Yeah.
More unlikely that they're going to change him when they just brought him on this year.
Yeah.
There's Craig Berube, of course.
Yeah.
And then there's, okay, if we do change one of these guys, like, who's coming in here?
Yeah. I don't know.
Right? Like, Peter DeBoer is now the flavor of the week, isn't he?
Oh, I mean, it's the hottest thing to talk about. Everyone wants Peter DeBoer. Peter DeBoer is everyone assumes that if you let Craig Berube go, Peter DeBoer is going to be on the next flight to Toronto, and he's going to be behind the bench when they start back up on the 27th of December. Like, everyone just feels like they've figured that out, which seems like a long shot to me.
Do you think if that happened, the reaction would be from the fans, let's go, and now we're going to right this ship? I'm not sure, to your point you made earlier, is, are you absolutely convinced that that's what's needed to jolt this particular roster? Because I'm not there.
I do think that with the fan base, it may be a bit of a wake-up call that at least the people who are in charge are acknowledging that what they've been shown for however long this season isn't good enough and isn't acceptable in this competitive window that they're supposed to be a Stanley Cup contender. Like, at least it would show the fan base that they're willing to make a drastic move to improve the product that they're watching.
Yeah.
And maybe you get a momentary bounce where the fans are excited again, and maybe you start selling a few more tickets or whatever, and people are like, hey, maybe we'll be good again. But that only lasts if they start to get good, Kip. Like, it's not, if you fire the coach and you bring in DeBoer and they still suck, nobody's going to be like, well, at least we got a different coach. People are still going to be pissed, right? Like, the coach firing has to come with great results to get the fan base back in, I think. Right?
Yeah. I think you have to have a real clear idea of what a coaching change would mean, in particular to Auston and Willie. And it's such a dangerous game now to go back. And it's dangerous in general to put too much stock into your star players, but it does happen, and it's happened in almost any era.
Yep.
That it's just a natural thing for a general manager or coach to lean on his best players for thoughts and ideas on anything that has to do with the team.
I'm just pulling up the thing that Bourne sent us with the amount of coaches for certain teams. If I'm quickly,
Yes.
and like, just quickly pulling it up here. Like, the Leafs are in the bottom half, far in the bottom half of amount of coaches since the Matthews era started, right? Like, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams behind them in terms of teams that have had amount of coaches. So it's not like it would be, it wouldn't be like they've done this 100 times, but it's still a huge move to make. But I think what you've seen from specifically Nylander, or, I mean, what is this now? 11 games, Kyper, without a goal?
Yeah.
He's a guy that you're using however much percentage of your cap here.
And
he hasn't.
Is he a byproduct of just getting, I don't know if the word's picked on or centered to a lot of criticism that we've seen on the bench
Yeah.
in his direction more so than anyone else. Is that got anything to play here?
I think he maybe is a guy that's just.
Is he tired of?
I think he's just frustrated, and I think he's lacking. I mean, we have this clip from him from last night? Derek, if you've got the William Nylander clip, clip 1, please, from Willie.
Like with losing, I don't know if I felt like this before. Or I had a stretch like this. I'm not sure. I don't feel like I've had that in the NHL at least.
Yeah, like.
Never felt like this before.
I mean, he's always Mr. Cool. I mean, he's usually takes that tone when he's talking, when he's in a positive light. So it's not like he's really up or down, but you usually never hear anything like that from him. It's been 11 straight games without a goal, like I said. I mean, there's been multiple nights throughout this where it looks like a guy that's caught in between what he's trying to. Is that what you see? Like a guy that's being told to be more defensively responsible. He doesn't get a breakaway ever anymore. Or it's just not having the shield of Marner here anymore.
Yeah.
Where
this is, again, where.
Feels like he's caught in between two things.
Yeah, I've never been one to say that players quit on their coach. Quitting, sometimes people just think it's about not trying hard enough, but it's quitting on a coach to me means you stop believing in the message.
Yeah.
And what he sees and what I see on how to win are two different things. And again, that has to be crystal clear to Brad Treliving or Keith Pelly moving forward, that if that's the case, then you need to remove Craig Berube.
Yeah.
There's nothing there anymore for the players to hang their hat on with a head coach that they've stopped believing in his message.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're there, then you're better off just putting Lalonde behind the bench than you are keeping Craig Berube. And then it's maybe no gain, but maybe you refresh an attitude out of Willie Nylander and Auston Matthews if you believe that. And if you don't believe it, then you probably let him stay.
So you think that Treliving would be having a conversation, like a one-on-one conversation with those guys to kind of see where they're at, or
I think he has to get a feel for sure. Yeah. And it's you don't have to necessarily tip your hat to them that you're contemplating a coaching change. You don't go up to Auston Matthews if you're Brad Treliving and go, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting rid of Craig Berube. What are your thoughts?" You know, it's not that.
Yeah.
It's Auston, what's going on here, right? What is happening here? What are we not doing here? Where are we not helping you enough? What are you not getting out of us that help you be the player that you can be? And then just listen to him and just listen to his words. You know, I mean, it happens. Like New York missed the playoffs the year before we won the Stanley Cup. Roger Nielsen was there. You know, God rest his soul, Roger, but there's a lot of things that didn't really line up for a guy like Mark Messier. Like Mark wanted to go head-to-head against the best players, and Roger wanted to put Darren Turcotte out against Mario Lemieux. And Mess is like, no, I'm going up against the best. That's a disconnect.
Yeah.
So if management or ownership or whoever's above, you know, at the time, if you're listening to your players, that's something to consider here. That if he's not on the same page as the coach and they don't believe in the same philosophy on how to beat the almighty Pittsburgh Penguins, then it ain't working. So, Auston, where are you, man? Where are you on the power play? Where are you on our breakouts? Where are you on the forecheck? And why aren't we seeing second and third opportunities around the net? And why do you have no goals on rebounds or second and third broken play chances?
Yeah.
And then get a feel on whether or not you still have to make a coach or change or not. So that's that's the way it generally can work, is that you involve them, you bring them in, they're leaders. Willie, tell us, Willie, what do you see out there? What are you not feeling? Right? And you have to go to those guys. They're your bread and butter. They're supposed to be your heartbeat of the hockey club.
So then the Lalonde thing that we've mentioned here on Friday, you mentioned here again now, that would be like going from the bad cop to good cop situation sort of thing, in terms of just a different voice back there. Like, he's not hiding anything.
No.
Like, he's trying to take, I mean, he was a head coach, I guess.
He was a head coach, and that's one of the reasons why you brought him in, because he has NHL coaching experience. And, whether or not you want to admit it or not, there's always the thought that, if things get to a point, who's there to pick up the pieces? You have to think that way. And Lalonde also was a former head coach, and he's got bench experience. If anything ever happened to Berube, whether or not it was from lack of success, which we see now, or, a health issue, whatever it is, a guy can step in and do the job.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I understand. Yep.
And that's one scenario. The other scenario is you want to hit the home run now and go get Peter DeBoer.
I don't understand what is enticing about the Toronto job right now. That like, I think maybe it was you had mentioned on Friday that this summer, when you see what happens with, some offseason moves and whatever, like hiring, but coming into this right now with the temperature that's around this team and around this fan base, and, like, there's articles being written about how they're not selling out anymore, and like just the way the fans have a relationship. Luke Fox is writing articles about the fans' relationship with the captain of the team, and us talking about it every day. And it feels like it's a very toxic situation right now to step into. And he's going to coach. He's going to be an assistant coach on the bench at the Olympics, and that's a great experience that he's got coming up. I just don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and it's still the Leafs, and he wants to jump, but it just doesn't feel like an appealing situation.
What do you do game time? We'll take a break, and I'll chime in on my Peter DeBoer thoughts.
Okay. It's game time, presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. As it's saying that there is a new version of the Bet365 app available as I try to pull it up. So why don't we do it after the break, Kipper? That was game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. I print to pull it up. It said there's an update. So
oh, you're hilarious.
I can't remember the Christmas food. I can't
remember my cookies.
Can't do anything.
And now we got to work on an app for you.
Oh my God. We'll do it after the break.
We will. More Sammy McKee screw ups after the break, and my thoughts on Peter DeBoer, next coach. It's the real Kyper and Bourne show in the big seat. Our very own Sammy McKee.
Yeah.
As a reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365.
Okay, time for me to improve my read from last segment. It's game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Phil Rivers back at it tonight, Kyper. The 45-year-old veteran made his first start since 2020. Now he's back at it tonight against the San Francisco 49ers. This time at home. Not that big of an underdog tonight, surprisingly. Only plus 195 at home. The 49ers minus 240. And I'm just looking at the odds for anytime touchdown scores. Christian McCaffrey. Give me a Christian McCaffrey touchdown anytime, minus 200. If he gets a touchdown tonight or a couple, I will make an appearance for my first ever appearance in the Sportsnet 590 The Fans Fantasy Football League final. So I need 20 points out of McCaffrey and Kittle combined. And I think
you'll cover. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Seems too easy, but Dylan Brown is who I'm going up against. So first ever appearance. I'm usually a doormat, so I'm pretty excited about tonight. And that was game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Pete DeBoer.
Okay. Pete DeBoer is a name that would intrigue me, but the timing has to be there for me for sure.
Okay.
And as you had mentioned, that I had said earlier, that with close to 50 games still on,
Mhm.
it's almost just as big of a gamble for Peter DeBoer to come in now
Mhm.
and take a chance on whether or not he can turn this thing around. If he doesn't, they miss the playoffs. You don't get the same jump as you would if you hired him next summer with that fresh feel, that new attitude. And it's not a good thing. You know, it's not a good thing to be in that position. It's not a good position for Keith Pelly to be in as CEO now, to be in a position where he's looking at this season being a failure. He's got a brand new head coach, probably cost him and his company and Mr. Rogers $25-30 million.
It was a 5-year contract, right?
I think
Got to be close to 5
I
million a
think to entice him now, there would be the number one reason. What would be his number one reason to come here for
year.
now?
DeBoer?
Yeah.
Money.
The cash,
Cashola.
right? The cashola.
Yeah.
He's got everything he's wanted so far in his career. He's got career wins. He's got an impeccable record for Game 7s, except the Game 7 he'd ultimately want, and that's to win a Stanley Cup.
I will say the Game 7 record behind the Leafs bench would be one of the immovable object meets an unstoppable force situations of all time.
So you'd have to just blow him away with the cash.
Yeah.
Now, if it's the end of the season and the Leafs have faded as much as people perceive them to be right now,
Mm-hmm.
you're stuck with a decision from Keith Pelly on Brad Treliving.
Yeah.
Can you fire Brad Treliving at the end of the year and keep Pete DeBoer as a coach?
That's interesting. So that in theory, if you were going to part ways with Treliving at the end of the year,
Yeah.
and bring in your fancy new hire,
Yes.
then he's gonna just keep Pete DeBoer as
No.
as his coach, as opposed to just wanting to bring in his own guy.
I don't even worry about that.
What do you worry about?
I worry about the perception that Pete DeBoer is interviewing for his general manager and has a vital say on picking him. And maybe that's true. Maybe that's not true.
What do you mean? Like Pete would have a big say in who the general manager
Yes.
is? Yeah. Would you have an issue with that?
I don't like it.
No. Okay.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Because it screws up the pecking order. It screws up the hierarchy.
Mm.
And I believe in a owner.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in a president. I believe in a general manager. And then I believe in the coach.
Okay.
And one has to answer to another. I don't like if Peter DeBoer came in right now and the perception was, and it could be true, it could be false. I could be sitting here saying Pete DeBoer doesn't want it. He doesn't want anything to do with picking, but people will still sit there and say whether or not, Pete has a big influence on who comes in as a general manager. And that's not a good thing because now you're into a Mike Babcock. I make $50 million. I got a kid coming out of Sault Ste. Marie. How much respect am I showing him? I'm more important than you are, even though I'm just the coach and now you're the general manager. And then you got a guy going, I got to get this guy out of here.
Boy, that did get bad towards the end.
Really bad.
I forgot about that guy.
Really bad.
Yeah, they were at each other's throats towards the end of that
They weren't
relationship.
even at each other's throats. Trust me. It was just Babcock, shushing him off like he was like, somebody that mopped the floors or something. I don't know.
Oh my. So then if you get to the end of this year and you don't make the playoffs, your inclining would be that Brad Treliving may not survive that, or he would.
No. I believe that Brad believes that he won't survive.
Okay.
If they miss the playoffs.
So then you would hope that whoever your new general manager that you bring in
could be a clean slate, looking for a general manager and a coach.
Wow. So maybe that general manager ends up just bringing in Pete DeBoer anyway. But he might not even make it there because Pete DeBoer is a pretty hot name, and he's had an excellent. What did he say when he came on our show? 6 of the last 7 conference finals, or 5 of the last 6.
He's getting paid. He doesn't have to jump into anything.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. Does Pete go? Give me Babcock money and I'll go anywhere.
Here's a question that you probably can't answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. Do you think Treliving and Pete DeBoer have spoken?
I believe absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe that for a second, and I know there's a few things out there right now.
Yep.
But no,
Okay.
I do not believe there's that they've reached out to Pete DeBoer.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that. Matthews. So one of the biggest things that I've been getting from Leaf fans, and Leaf fans really feel comfortable coming to me with stuff, whether it be mean or not mean. But the biggest thing that people are coming to me with, maybe this is too dark for 3 days before Christmas, but a lot of people saw what happened with Quinn Hughes, Kip, and the way it looked at the end with Quinn Hughes in Vancouver, and the body language and the American captain in a Canadian market and all that stuff. I mean, I would say that the biggest comment I get is a lot of trade Matthews. And I would be lying to you if I told you that isn't a terrifying thought from a Leaf fan perspective. And from my perspective, at least, there's a ton of them that would want to do that. But do you think that is a conversation that they would ever have, like as soon as this summer?
Yes.
You do?
100%. Yeah, I do. And again, the no movement clause come into play. So you have to do this together. This is just not your decision to do it. You got to go up to Auston and say to Auston, it's been a rough year and a half now, 2 years when you factor in what happened last year and the injury or the trip to Germany or whatever.
Yeah.
It's been a tough 2 years. Like, he may be in a position where he's like, he may go to the Leafs and say, it's just time for a change. And I do believe that this is not something that can happen during this season.
No, it's not a deadline move.
This is a summer decision. And I don't also buy that this is Auston the rest of his career. He's just a 30-goal scorer, and he's just going to completely fall off. I don't believe that other teams look at him going, this is the Auston Matthews I'm going to trade for. I don't want them. I don't want him. I don't believe in that either.
Okay.
And I think that there are places out there, and I don't know if you want to hold me to this, but
I would love to hold you to something.
Like, Auston Matthews to the LA Kings is the play.
Okay. That's the move.
That's the move. Okay, they got Kopitar leaving, and they need somebody.
Need a star.
And they kind of held out for, the watch on McDavid. And I think if McDavid was LA Kings' choice in a couple of years, or as early as next year to trade for him possibly, then Auston would fall right underneath that.
Wow. So, and that's the next question that I would ask, and a lot of Leaf fans would ask, would be, does he have the similar trade value that Quinn Hughes would?
I think if you can't get 4 pieces for Auston, you should get 3 quality ones for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know what that means in terms of you need a center iceman back. I don't know if they give up Byfield, but it would be one of their top picks.
Yeah. So it
up
would
the
be
middle.
It would be.
I'd like to get a defenseman back
for sure. You would think that it would be a players that are playing now.
I think
as opposed to
I'd like 2 players that could play now and a first round pick.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. That's it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
But people got to understand, like Quinn Hughes, they're like, oh my God, he got traded before Christmas. It was so quick. When Jimmy Rutherford went on Hockey Night in Canada, I think with Scott Oak, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was After Hours.
After Hours?
I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Last season?
I may be mistaken too.
Last season?
Yeah.
And he said that Quinn Hughes would like to play with his brothers. That's the day that he started looking for a Quinn Hughes trade.
Yeah.
That's when you put the work in.
Takes a long time.
It takes a long time. So between now and what happens in the summer, I think if the Leafs fade quietly this season, you have to start thinking about assets around two players, and that's Willie and Auston. And Auston, I think, would fetch you more than Willie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the contract is a lot longer with Willie, and it's a much bigger financial commitment.
It's center ice.
Yeah, that's fair.
Center ice.
And
there's hard to find.
So we started this hour talking about Berube and the relationship with the coach. I'm looking at Alex Ovechkin's Hockey DB page, Kyper.
Yeah.
And do you know why I would be doing that?
Because coaches changes for Ovi.
When Dale Hunter, your boy, was Ovi's coach,
Yeah. How bad were his numbers?
he had 33 goals,
Yeah.
mashed in between a 50-goal year and a 49-goal year.
Yeah.
Is there anything is there a way that they just put Lalonde back there and he starts firing in the net?
Are you asking me if guys can respond to a coaching change? Yes, they can.
Well,
they can.
I'm just
100%.
looking for reasons why he just looks the way he does.
Yeah.
But is Derek or whoever hell the coach is going to bring his quick twitch and his quick
Sammy,
feet?
If I could answer that,
yes,
Keith Pelly and Brad Treliving could right now. They do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay?
You're right.
You just
don't know.
That's the $64,000 question. That's the crystal ball. That's the secret sauce. That's what they're paid to do. Take your best guess, boys.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a lot of hockey games to go here, and that's what you're paid for. That's the decision that needs to be made here.
I would say that if there was ever going to be a potential Auston Matthews trade, I'm not sure. I would, I guess, but who the hell are you going to trust to make that trade? I was going to say that Tree, but you never make out great in these trades. You never make out the way you're going to. Even the Canucks, they perceived that they did really well in that, but who knows what that's going to look like 3 years down the road. By the way, I think they've won 4 in a row now. They've started to get hot.
Matthew Tkachuk for Brad was in that position already once.
And he did okay. He just didn't need to give that massive contract to Huberdeau after, right? I think Weegar and
under the
Huberdeau,
circumstance, he was completely cornered.
Hamstrung.
Auston there should be more freedom right now.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Like I said, it takes a long time, but can't stop Brad Treliving from calling up the LA Kings right now or Kenny Holland and going, okay, if we were to think about something like this, what would we build it around? You need a centerman. Kopitar's done.
Yeah.
You need a new guy, and I've got one in the prime of his career who's on an off season here, but you're going to pay dearly for it. You interested? That starts today.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it leaks. Doesn't mean it gets out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the way it works.
Boy. Well, Merry Christmas, Leaf fans.
We're just supposed to relax and share Christmas thoughts, Sammy, on today.
It's the hardest hitting hour we've done in ever. Bourne leaves. The problem is we didn't have our positive Peter here today. It was just the 2 negative Nancys. Hey, where are you going after this?
Oh, Peter's Fine Dining.
What are you doing?
Markham.
What are you doing?
I'm ordering maybe the Peter's Cut, or my dad's taking my family up to our old restaurant in Markham.
That's fantastic. Have a great time.
Yeah.
Have a great time.
You got to take the wife there.
I will. I'd love to.
All right.
I'd love to. Give me the Kyper discount. I'm there.
On behalf of everybody here at the Real Kyper and Bourne Show, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Be safe. And we'll catch up to you guys when, Sammy?
December 29th or 28th. I don't know. I'm on vacation till the 7th. I'll see you later.
Merry Christmas, everybody.